Pick me up.
If you've hurt your disc, got pain going down your leg, you're not sure whether it's okay to start bending, this video is for you. Now, a lot of people unfortunately get a disc issue from a sedentary lifestyle, not doing enough, just sitting on the computer, not exercising much, and over time your discs degenerate. Or you could have lifted something really heavy in the gym. Now, after a disc injury, a lot of people rest, and it's okay to rest. But if a rest turns from a week to 2 weeks and a year, you tend to get afraid of bending down. And that in itself can perpetuate or make your disc problem to a cycle, and the pain actually gets worse over time. So you have to break that cycle by learning how to bend over. That's what this video is about. Let's get into it. Now, if you really like our videos, and I'm hoping you do, click the like and subscribe button. It really helps a small growing channel like us. We're gonna get your first lift from the floor today, but before we do that, we should warm up. So, foot on your other leg, knee to your opposite shoulder. Don't let this knee float in too much because you'll lose the stretch. Keep the knee pointing straight ahead. You should get a pretty big stretch in your glutes. And we want to start stretching those areas so that your lift gets easier. Now you're trying to bring a knee to that shoulder. Now, if you're really good, you can bring an ankle up a bit higher. You can bring this leg out further. You'll feel a bigger stretch. Try not to lean away from beside your stretching. 30 seconds. You've loosened up your glutes. You're gonna go into some bridges, get your bottom working. Lift up your hips, nice and high. High off the bed, hold 2, 3, back down. Keep the weight on the heels, lift that bottom nice and high. Try not to use your hands. If it's too difficult for you, you can use them. So you can put your hands on your chest. Single leg, or I call this 1.5 legs. Try to lift as high as you did before. You want to reach double digits, at least 10 of each. This time, leg off the floor. Try to lift as high. If it's too hard, you can use your hands to help. Your hip muscles are now loose. They've done some exercise. They're ready to go. Ooh. All right, now we gotta warm up the back with some reverse hypers. Groin off the edge of the bed. Lift, hold, 2, 3, at least to the parallel. You know your back's getting stronger when you can reach about 20 of them. So now your back's all nice and warmed up. Your bottom's nice and warmed up. Time for your hamstrings. Now, if you're not very flexible, if the sciatic nerve is sore, you can start on a higher stool. But we're gonna start here. We'll pick one leg at a time and fully straighten it. So this leg, my right leg, is now fully straight. I feel a mild stretch down the back of my leg, and you can hold it for 20, 30 seconds. So my back's relaxed, my hands flat on the stool. Now, if it's too easy for you, you can go lower. Find another stool and do the same thing. So now, if this is too big of a jump, you can start with your fingertips and do the same thing. You can hold 30 seconds. If that's too easy, hands flat. And again, this one's a little bit too easy for me, so I'm gonna go even lower still. So now I've got a high step. Again, fingertips, fully straight, right knee, hold for 20 seconds. Now this is starting to get a challenge for me with my hands straight. And then I can make this a bit smaller with this step. So you can find a way to get your hamstrings really flexible. You're very close to being able to do your first deadlift. We're just gonna finish off with stretching your calves. Now, after you've stretched your hamstrings, do some strengthening work for it. But instead of knees up here, we're gonna go knees further out. Now, you'll be surprised how much harder it is just by putting my knees further out. And now you'll really target the hamstrings. Hold 2, 3, then do one leg at a time. So we'll do 1.5 legs. Lift high as you can, full leg off the bed. Get your hands out of the way if it's too easy for you. All right, so now we're stretching your calves. So hands against the wall, big lunge back with your back leg, front leg bent. Do not lift off the heel of the back leg. Put pressure on the back leg. You should feel a nice big stretch up your calf. Keep the knee straight. Do not lift the heel. Hold for 30 seconds. If you don't feel the stretch, take a bigger lunge forwards and bring that back leg further back slightly. All right, now you're all warmed up. You've done all of those muscles behind which are involved in lifting. You've got them flexible, you've got the blood flowing through them. Now it should be less painful to do everything. Light weights, these are only 2 kilos. You can start 1 kilo, half a kilo. We're gonna go only as far as is comfortable. Now, for some of you, it's here, down there, doesn't matter. We're gonna go to where it starts getting painful and not beyond that. So 2 or 3 out of 10 is fine. Let's say it's to here that you can go to. That's where you're gonna stop. You're gonna hold 2, 3, get used to that feeling. You should feel it behind the hamstrings into your butt, not so much your back. If you do it nice, move, controlled, knees straight, it should not aggravate you. See how my bottom is going backwards? So my back is actually not bending too much. It's mostly happening around glutes and hamstrings. Now, over time, your body will say, hey, I can do this. It's not as sore as I expected. And then you'll be able to go down further. And if you keep this routine up, our goal is to get right down to the bottom. Now you'll notice that I am just running my hands down my legs. Now, if I go slightly in front, it does put a little bit more pressure on the back, which can be painful. And so we're gonna avoid that for now. Although in the future, that's not necessarily a bad thing with the right amount of weight. So as you get better, these weights will get heavier. You could lower it to there, and then you could lower it to here. Feet ideally hip width apart. So not too narrow that you're making it hard for your balance. And you can work onto here. Eventually, you're just gonna work from the floor. Between your legs, hold 2, 3, and back up. Now, we're not gonna increase this from 2 kilos to 20 kilos all of a sudden. You are gonna work your way up to at least 20 kilos. Minimum standard for getting over sciatica. You should be that strong all the way from the floor. Less so the back muscles. You should feel these muscles working. Feet flat on the floor, pushing through the feet. A controlled lower. If you're just letting gravity drop it, you could re-aggravate the back. So these are the simple steps you can use. If this is too daunting again, use a step, feet on either side of a step, hold on to that. It actually is easier from that elevation. You're conquering your fear of lifting. You're getting rid of chronic pain. You're getting stronger, you're more flexible. These are the ways you're gonna get over your sciatica. You shouldn't have to rely on pills for the rest of your life. To the best of your ability, as natural as possible. Give yourself 3, 6 months, 12 months. You should see a difference in your strength and flexibility. Thanks for watching, guys. All the best. Peace.